In recent weeks, and of course as recently as Tuesday, I have committed to keeping Parliament and school communities updated on COVID protections in schools, including the use of face coverings in classrooms. I've been clear that we do not want to keep these or any other measures in place for longer than necessary, but that we must continue to be led by scientific and expert advice and put the safety of our young people first. On Tuesday, the advisory subgroup on education met to discuss a number of issues, including the use of face coverings. The group reiterated its previous position that the removal of mitigations in schools should be phased. It also advised that the next step of the phased approach could begin after the February half-term break, starting with the removal of the requirement to wear face coverings in the classroom. The subgroup has advised that this change should apply to both pupils and staff in classrooms and take effect from the 28th of February, when all schools will have returned from the half-term break. This change will reduce barriers to communication in the classroom and reduce any wellbeing impacts which arise from the use of face coverings, for example, through their use in support learning and teaching. Of course, and this is a point I want to stress, Presiding Officer, any young person or staff member who wishes to still wear a face covering in the classroom should be fully supported in doing so. We currently expect that face coverings will still be required outside the classroom in indoor communal areas of schools for a period after the 28th of February, but this will be kept under regular review. In arriving at its recommendation, the advisory subgroup pointed to reducing case rates for secondary-aged pupils, which is a recent development, falling hospitalisation rates across all age categories, and the fact that at this stage the estimated R rate is now below 1. In addition, of course, vaccination rates for young people continue to increase. In recognition of this encouraging situation, the subgroup also advised that the remaining restrictions on school assemblies should be lifted, and that school visits linked to transitions, for example primary 7 children visiting a new secondary school, should be given greater priority. These changes were all discussed with the COVID Education Recovery Group this morning. Our guidance will be updated next week, but I wanted to confirm this decision today in order to give children and young people, their families and school staff certainty about the forthcoming changes before the February break. They represent a further step in allowing children and young people return to a more normal experience in school after many months of sacrifice, and I hope they will be welcomed not just across the Chamber but more importantly across the country.